good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, wherever you are this time. A pleasant good morning to you. And this is Good Morning Grenada for today. It's Monday, the 6th day of March in the year 2023. And thank you for being a part of the program this morning. I do hope that you had yourselves a great weekend and you're up and ready as Freddy to face the challenges of this brand new work week. Yeah, for most of us, the work week starts on Monday. Good morning to the police, the doctors, the nurses, the security guards, and so forth. They work right through, man, but nonetheless. It's good to be back with you once again, and it's time to do what we do best at this time. Remember that we've got the March 13th quiz coming up just in a few minutes, so get yourselves ready for that. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to give me the answer, and just like that, you can win yourself great prizes. All right, Mary E. Banks, good morning to you. Also, Sylvina Charles, good morning. Innocent, it's a good thing to give God thanks for his goodness. Of course, there's nothing better than that. As Luciano said in song, man was made to serve Jah, yeah? Yeah, give him the thanks, the praise, and everything else that comes with it. All right, so this morning, let's head straight to the word of the day because we've got to intertwine the March 13th quiz likewise. So, at this time, we're sort of busy, And this morning, the word for the day is the word vindicate. Vindicate, and it is spelled V-I-N-D-I-C-A-T-E. It is a verb. And vindicate means to show that someone is not guilty. Okay. My partner I usually call and say you're not so innocent. All right. It can also mean to show that someone or something that has been criticized or doubted is correct, true, or reasonable. All right. So remember the word vindicate. It is a verb. It is spelled V-I-N-D-I-C-A-T-E, and it means to show that someone is not guilty. It can also mean to show that someone is something that has been criticized or doubted is correct, true, or reasonable. Let's see how we can use this word in a sentence or two. And we can safely say, in the light of the new evidence, we believe that our client will be completely vindicated. Yeah, it will show that our client was not guilty. In other words, the client was innocent. Not me. And we can also say recent volcanic activity on Jupiter's moon, LO, vindicates astronomers' theories about the geologic makeup of that celestial body. Okay. Nice. So how was the weekend? A lot of activities here, there, and everywhere. A lot of accidents again, as usual. I don't know, man. Let's look at the thought of the day. The thought for today is passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Yeah, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what is or what excites you. 24 minutes on to 7 o'clock. That is the time. Yeah, that is the time. What else is buzzing this morning? Let's see what's buzzing this morning. Like I said, there were a lot of activities over the weekend. One of them being the National Democratic Congress. They had their convention yesterday at the MacDonald College in St. Patrick, Mali to be precise. And coming out of that, we see that Sylvester Qualis is the elected NDC chairman. He replaces Tevin Andrews, who did not opt for re-election. The other contenders were Osbert Charles and Terrance Moore. Randall Robinson secured the position of deputy chairman of the party. Yeah, a lot of things happened over the weekend. I understand the convention was a successful one, Yeah. Let's see what else is buzzing out of the convention. we see that Larry Barry was in contention during elections being held during the convention. Two contenders came up for the position of General Secretary, but Larry Barry came out victorious. And one of the other contenders was Andy Williams, the Minister for Implementation. Yep. You can see the file photos there. Out of last week, we heard that the Labor Commissioner was sacked and the government was forced to go back to the drawing board to recruit a new Labor Commissioner. Good morning to you, Mr. Cyrus Griffith. How are you doing, man? Yeah, good morning to you, Mr. Reginald Lord also. What happened? They bringing all you back? Yeah, well, I mean, you all gave human service to the job. Especially my good friend, Mr. Lord. How you doing, man? You say innocent, I have to come and sit down with you on the program one of these days. Well, you're welcome, eh? You're welcome anytime. Some folks went on a hash over the weekend and they recorded this house, man. Miraculously. Oh my goodness. And the question that is posed, is this even safe? And God works in mysterious ways, eh? So let not your weary heart be troubled. And we see a spate of accidents over the weekend. Another accident in Lower Depredin Street in Guab. The occupants in the vehicle sustained minor injuries and police attended the scene. A utility pole was damaged, resulting in downed power lines. Look at that Escudo. That is an Escudo or a RAV4? It looks like a RAV4. Yeah. All right, there was another accident again as members of the IGPF Fire Department were feverishly working to free the driver of a Suzuki Escudo, which was involved in a serious accident during the early hours of Sunday morning. All right, it is reported that the Escudo and a police-branded pickup truck collided along the Belmont Main Road in the vicinity of Regis Palm. The driver of the police vehicle was rushed to the hospital while the lawmen used the jaws of life to free the other driver. He subsequently was rushed to the hospital likewise. And so an international story with some Grenadian connection. Zach Pascal was robbed at gunpoint by two men in Prince George's County, that's in Maryland, yesterday morning at around 2:25 a.m., where they demanded his belongings. Now, you would remember that Pascal was treated, he was in the news not so long ago as playing in the Super Bowl with Grenadian parentage, okay? He was treated for minor injuries at the scene, police said. All right. Okay. Now, tonight on Beyond the Headlines, okay? No, not. Is it Beyond the Headlines? No, I think it's on To The Point this morning. All right. Why the opposition to the Livera Hotel project by Kwabena Aman? That he should be on To The Point this morning. And if you can see the photos there of that project, man, it looks beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Okay, so these, well, there's another one. The mangroves and the importance to the environment and communities formed a part of a learning process for students of 4 primary schools in St. Andrew. We also see buzzing government officials say so far they are satisfied with the furnishing of the units at the Corinth low-income housing project. They visited the site last week. All right, Dorian, can you show my viewers the project, the Livera Hotel project, man? It looks beautiful. Yeah, wow, that looks awesome, man. Yeah, trust me. Good, so that's what's buzzing this morning. So remember the word for the day is vindicate, and it means to, let me go back up there. What vindicate means is to show that someone is not guilty. It can also mean to show that someone or something that has been criticized or doubted is correct, true, or reasonable. The thought of the day, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. All right, let's get into the March 13th quiz for this time. Let's do this. Yeah, it's all part of the morning lineup. Busy in the morning. And the question this morning, let me ask that question. What type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goal of a higher standard of living for Grenada's population? You know the numbers to call. The number to call, right? It's 435-2041. The answers were A, a socialist economy, B, a communist economy, C, a capitalist economy, D, a mixed economy. The question, what type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goal of a higher standard of living for Grenada's population? 435-2041, that's the number to call. Let's see if the phone will light up this morning. And yes, we do have a caller. Let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hi, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
How are you this morning?
Not too bad.
And where are you calling me from?
St. Andrews.
Which part of St. Andrews? Huh?
Better St. Andrews.
Okay. All right. Do you think you have the answer for me?
Making a thing?
All right. So the question again, what type of economy was the PRG developing in order to achieve its immediate goal of a higher standard of living for Grenada's population? A, we've got the socialist economy, B, a communist economy, C, a capitalist economy, and D, a mixed economy. Which of the answers do you think is correct?
D.
The answer is D, you think?
Yeah.
How certain are you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely certain. Well, yes, you are correct, all right? It was a mixed economy. That's the economy that the PRG was developing. Okay? So you stay on the line, and I will take your name and the contact information of the... Stay on the line, please, okay?
Thank you.
Good. All right. All right. I want to say congratulations to Mr. Joy St. Louis from Moya in St. Andrew. He is this morning's winner for the March 13th quiz. And the answer, of course, was D, a mixed economy. Well, we've got to break it off here. We've got to head into the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. That's for those of us on Classic. Those of you on GBN Television, we've got the Weekend Review. See you on the flip side of 7. After 7, in the conversation this morning, I will be joined by Dr. Terrance Walters. So stay tuned for that. We'll have a brief discussion, and then we see as much of the conversation that we can have. See you on the flip side.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
connects a credit union with you wherever your road leads.
Thanks for joining us. Topping our reports over the past week, relatives of a British family who owned about 1,200 slaves on 6 plantations in Grenada have apologized for their family's actions. Beverly Telesford reports.
At a reparations forum hosted by the Grenada National Reparation Commission and the University of the West Indies on Monday, New York-based BBC reporter Laura Trevelyan read a letter of apology signed by 7 members of the Trevelyan family for their ancestors' role in slavery on the island.
To the people of Grenada, we, the undersigned, write to apologize for the actions of our ancestors in holding your ancestors in slavery.
A ceremony was held to establish a fund where Laura personally pledged £100,000 to the local reparations committee. The money will come from a pending BBC pension payout.
I came up with that figure because that's what I, at this moment in time, can afford to give. I hope, I'm 54 years old, and when I turn 55 in August, that's the moment when I can give this money, because I will actually come into a pension from the BBC. And so I'm taking a proportion of that pension as a cash payment to give to the people of Grenada.
The letter was handed over to Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, who promised to fight for reparations.
Slavery wasn't ended overnight, and the fight for reparations is going to be a long, hard, and difficult fight. But it is a fight that we owe to our ancestors, because they never accepted slavery as normal. They never accepted that their position in life was to be slaved.
After receiving a letter of apology on behalf of Grenada, he presented it to members of the local reparations committee, who are expected to forward it to the regional reparations committee. In 1834, the family received compensation equivalent to £3 million in today's money as part of the abolition of slavery. Vice-Chancellor and Chairman of the CARICOM Reparations Committee, Professor Hilary Beckles, compared the compensation offered to slaveholders to compensation offered to bank robbers for their crimes. The Grenada Reparations Committee Chairman Ali Gill described the occasion as a day of remembrance.
This apology and financial commitment from Laura Trevelyan and the family should serve as a clarion call to other families, institutions, and governments in Europe to acknowledge their wrongs, apologize, and commit to repairing the harms done by the ancestors.
As the ceremony progressed, a group of people who did not support the ceremony and the Trevelyans' financial commitments held a peaceful protest outside of the building. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Meanwhile, outside the Grenada Trade Center on Monday, a group of concerned citizens made their voices heard as they opposed the reparations gesture as just a drop in the bucket. Christina John reports.
BBC reporter Laura Trevelyan and family are presently on the inside of the Grenada Trade Center Annex, where a reparation forum is being held by the Grenada Reparation Commission in collaboration with the University of the West Indies Open Campus. The Trevelyans are here to offer what they say is a public apology for the atrocities caused by their families who owned plantations in Grenada in the 19th century and enslaved more than 1,000 Africans on 5 sugar estates. They will also make a presentation of £100,000 to establish an education fund to the University of the West Indies Open Campus, Grenada. While this is happening as a positive for some, others oppose the move, saying it should be more than just a £100,000 payoff.
It's more than money we need. We are worth more than this. The many expressions of dissatisfaction displayed on placards by descendants of African slaves who say the shackles and chains may not be visible, but it's still on the minds of the people.
And I here today, show in solidarity of I am not horseless, just a drop in the bucket, and even though you look in the bucket, you cannot see the drop. It's way more than that. It's way more than money. Because 6 plantation having over 100,000 slaves. I forefathers, and then you still get reparation. So the amount of money that you owe, what then? The equivalent to no. You're talking about trillions of dollars. If you want to set something sustainable for I people, let's start with institution. Let's start with institution where we can change that mindset of what they had imposed upon I people. You know, so we are talking more than just that physical money. You retard an entire nation of people.
Ras Ruan from the House of the Nyabingi Lamode St. Patrick says there needs to be a shift in the mindset of the people and the education of the young people on their true history.
Basically, as the education system, it just benefits the slave master and it benefits the British Empire. Because when you look into the education system here in Grenada, it don't allow I to reach the truest potential. They have I thinking on our left side of our brain where we are not creators. We are not creating with this education system. So therefore we have to change that. And I have to change that where people can bring out their true creativity, through the true identity of African, and knowing who they are, will be able to have them, rise to that true potential.
Rastakari is advocating for the return of resources taken away from black people.
We want to be able to get our media folks to do more programming in terms of African history, in terms of bringing it to the youths, because the struggle, the youths have to take it. We are elders here, most of us here are elders, and it's the young warriors, because believe me, it's about warfare. We came here in this predicament because of the warfare on our ancestors, and it seems as though it's going to be warfare to get our reparation, which is a debt owed. Same way, the establishment got all what they have by illegal means, and it's supposed to be confiscated. Simple. So
Christelina John, GBN News.
Tuesday marked the official start of government's plans to dissolve the Marketing and National Importing Board over the next 6 months. My colleague Nisha Paul spoke with some MNIB workers who confirmed that they are in receipt of their severance checks as promised.
Earlier this month, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell announced plans to dissolve the operations of the cash-strapped MNIB, with plans to create a new entity through a private-public partnership. One of the affected 94 MNIB workers who have been employed with the state-owned entity for over 7 years has described the occasion as a bittersweet moment.
The feelings at this time, is a bittersweet moment for some. The journey, it has been quite a journey here at the MNIB, and I've learned quite a bit. Yes, for some it might be a bit challenging moving forward. For some it might be a great time, but nevertheless, we at MNIB, we quite happy for whatever we have received as workers. And moving forward, we know that there is always a silver lining beyond every gray cloud. And moving forward, I just hope that the future entity, it will be a great outcome, whichever person decides to take up the challenge.
Kim Kato is the shop steward for workers at the River Road facility and packing house.
Today was sort of I would say more like a historical day in I was saying MNIB being dissolved, no more MNIB. The guys work hard, they work along, they sacrifice, they didn't get no reward over the years. To see it come to that now, which is not our fault, nothing to do with us, nothing to do with our staff in any way. But as I said before, it is what it is, and the future is always bright, so we're looking towards the future.
The River Road facility and packing house is expected to continue servicing farmers during the next 6 months. Kato, who has been employed with the MNIB for the last 17 years, has been a shop steward for just under a year. He says he does not have in hand the details for the arrangement going forward.
I don't have the official arrangement, so I cannot say what it's going to be like, who is going to be there, who will not be there. So I just what I know, it's going to open just to facilitate the farmers till up to September when the new entity will come on board.
Cato said most of the MNIB workers are qualified in their fields and is optimistic that the government will live up to its promise to give them employment preference when the new entity is created. The MNIB will be dissolved and reformed under a new name and ownership, and its high debt bill accumulated will be absorbed by the government.
We expect that the board will concentrate on the River Road facility and the packing house to continue servicing our farmers during the next 6 months. During that period, the board would be responsible for the management of the winding down of the MNIB operations. In addition to severing the staff and undertaking the liability to pay the staff, the government will also assume liability for the estimated $15.1 million of debt that the Market International Importing Board is currently unable to pay. To that end, the Ministry of Finance will lead the negotiations with the third parties, including the banks and other third parties that Marketing Board is owing.
For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
The GBN Week in Review government officials on Sunday gathered for the groundbreaking ceremony for the start of the Grenada National Resort project, amid some citizens' concerns about the preservation of Livera's pristine beauty. Christina John has more.
Leave Livera alone. Leave Livera alone. Leave Livera alone. This is me home.
So while the sod turning ceremony for the Grenada National Resort project is taking place on the inside, a group of concerned citizens, some of whom are residents of Livera St. Patrick, staged a peaceful protest on entrance to the project. Their message is to save and protect the natural habitat of the area.
Protesters taking a stance against what they see as the degradation and destruction of Livera. The question is being asked, is this an act of double standards? On one hand, the sign reads protected area, and on the other hand, right next door is the start of a major hotel project. Protesters attempting to bring awareness to their concerns, but the sod turning ceremony went ahead as planned on Sunday.
But we also have to be honest. Development also has a price. And you cannot have development without some environmental impact. You cannot have development without changing the physical landscape and the physical infrastructure. What is required is for the changes to be done in a responsible, sensitive, and sustained manner. And Mr. Lee and his group have given us the assurance that they intend to do so.
Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell, addressing attendees, notes that people have the right to share their views, and as government, they also have a right to listen and address their concerns. He indicated that the Hensheng Group has been in dialogue with residents. Just around $70 million have been invested in the purchase of land for the project, which is a citizen by investment project, which will occupy approximately 412 acres of land in the north. The Singapore Hensheng Group is the developer for the project, estimated to cost over $2 billion. Yuan Feli is the chairman of the Singapore Hensheng Group.
With the fading of pandemic, the global economic recovery, and the orderly resumption of work and production in all walks of life, the construction of the Grenada National Resort will also break through. As a national key project in Grenada, the Grenada National Resort is of great significance in guiding the transformation of Grenada's tourism industry from sightseeing to high-end leisure resorts, improving its tourism reception capacity and service level, promoting local economic development and employment.
Minister for Trade and Economic Development, Lennox Andrew, is hopeful that many Grenadians will be gainfully employed and benefit from this project.
To you as developers, that we would like to see our farmers, performing artists, visual artists, designers, painters, sculptors, taxi drivers, wayside vendors, handicraft makers, small-scale manufacturers and agro-processors be the direct beneficiaries of this project.
Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick East, Dennis Cornwall, cites this project on completion as a game changer for the state of Grenada. Christina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, Beverly Telesford recently visited the Livera Boardwalk and recorded some notable changes there.
We are here in the vicinity of the Livera Boardwalk in St. Patrick. The boardwalk once served as an attraction for tourists and locals alike. But now, as you can see, it is almost submerged underwater. Residents in the area say in recent times, the water levels have been rising drastically. What once served as the walkway has now become a part of the pond. Our news team had to access the area using the sidelines and equipped with boots. Residents in the area have expressed concerns with an ecotourism project within Grenada's only Ramsar site. An intergovernmental environmental treaty, the Wetlands Convention, was established by UNESCO in Ramsar, Iran on February 2nd, 1971 and entered into force on December 21st, 1975. Due to its international importance, the Livera Wetlands was selected as Grenada's only Ramsar site in May 2012. One of the unique features of Livera Wetlands National Park is the pond, which is a tourist attraction due to the diverse species of birds and other animals that live there. The ecotourism project includes a boardwalk and lookout, but in recent months, the boardwalk has been slowly sinking into the pond due to rising water levels, a direct result of the rainy season. A resident told GBN the people in the area surrounding the pond have been at a disadvantage since the rise of the water levels.
Well, the situation not happening to the boardwalk over the past months and thing, because of the heavy period of rainfall and thing, the pond is over full, so the water was not able to run through. So that was the cause for the flooding, like for the boardwalk to cover. And for that to happen, for that to really, you have to open the pond down by the lake, down on the beach, where you need to just open the by the bridge, open that area, so the water will run out, and then the boardwalk will be free and stuff. And the tourists come in and they can go and have a look to overside the lake. Well, the locals and all, they can't even get a chance to do it, so because of the water and thing. You normally have a trail right around the lake, and then people can't pass because the trail covered with water as well. So
residents say this is not the first time the area has been flooded, but so far it's the worst. In the past, water pooled because the water outlet was blocked by sand, which naturally burst and the water was released into the sea. However, this time, the sand piled up very high and the flow seems to be slow. Workers at the Livera beach say the raised water levels have forced them to move the benches from the sitting area. The stagnant water has created a stench and has become a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Reporting from the Livera Boardwalk in St. Patrick, I am Beverly Telesford.
Government is going back to the drawing board to recruit a new Labour Commissioner. Christina John is going to tell us about that.
Just 4 months into her position as Labour Commissioner, Ms. Valerie Thomas was sacked. Her termination is with immediate effect. The announcement was made by Minister for Labour and Legal Affairs, Senator Claudette Joseph, while addressing members of the media on Thursday.
Members of the media and the public will recall that sometime in early November, well, the 3rd of November to be exact, we welcomed new Labour Commissioner, Ms. Valerie Thomas, into the position. And we have been working for the last 4 months, but upon review of the state of the relationship as requested by the Public Service Commission, it was decided by the Commission and the Ministry that it will be best for us to go back to the drawing board with in our search for a Labour Commissioner that fits with the the personnel and also with our general outlook.
Thomas landed the position 4 months ago on November 3rd, 2022, as the first female Labor Commissioner to be appointed in Grenada, following what Senator Joseph described as a rigorous process for selection from among 6 applicants. Ms. Thomas was appointed by the PSC.
But these things happen in the world of business. Ms. Thomas started on the 12th on the direction of the Public Service Commission, and sometimes these things happen. She is quite and well qualified and so, but did not work out to be a good fit with the staff at the Ministry of Labor. So the termination was at the instance of the Public Service Commission. And in relation to your question on the cost to the state is 1 month's pay. So the termination took effect immediately.
In the interim, the Deputy Commissioner will act in the position of Labor Commissioner.
So we have ended the relationship, and we will go back to the drawing board with a new Labor Commissioner to be announced in the not too distant future. By the statute, the Employment Act, in the absence of the Labor Commissioner, the Deputy Labor Commissioner performs the functions. As such, Deputy Commissioner Sparkle Grenade Courtney will be performing the functions of Labor Commissioner.
Prior to Ms. Thomas becoming Labor Commissioner, Mr. Reginald Lord acted in that position for 3 months until his retirement in November, following the retirement of Mr. Cyrus Griffith, who was a Labor Commissioner for 25 years. Christina John, GBN News.
God bless you. This is Pastor Donnie McClurkin, and I'm coming to the island of Spice. That's right. I'm coming to Grenada on Friday, April the 7th at 7 p.m. at the National Stadium. It's going to be a fantastic night of praise and worship that will bring glory to God and start a revival throughout Grenada. And I want to give special honor to all of the pastors that are working tirelessly throughout Grenada to make this possible. I come to pay honor to you as well. Don't forget, Friday, April the 7th at 7 p.m. at the National Stadium. Donnie McClurkin in concert in Grenada. I'll see you there.
You ate well, drank and indulged, laughed and had so much fun for the festive season. But now it's time. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Start the year right with your health as a priority. Cleanse and flush your blood, liver, and kidneys with quality herbs and supplements. Purchase one of our detox combo packs starting from $100. Purchase a full body detox pack starting from $500. Get 10% off on colonic irrigation. Get a chance to win a free colonic irrigation treatment and product coupons with every purchase. We are located in Grandin, minutes before the Food Fair Shopping Center, immediately opposite the old Capital Bank building in the Regency Commercial Suites. Give us a call at 231-6642 or 418-7115 or visit nirvana.gd for more info. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. We know real body care. This offer is valid until March 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Horizon National Athletics Championship 2023. This two-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long-distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club, and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Simile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
Sisson's WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Last week on Our Climate Reality.
For the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, all countries are reporting on their greenhouse gas emissions. The agriculture sector is a big sector in many of the countries, and many of the reports from most of the countries. So in some ways, they're able to capture some of the information.
Impacts that are common, incipient, and that have devastating effect on the agriculture if you're not prepared. If you're not prepared in terms of the mechanisms that you use in your production processes. So you're talking about the extreme weather events.
Most soil conservation methods, given the fact that you see all these flash floods and things in the current situation with climate change, you need to have, for example, terracing, strip cropping. With the terracing, especially, our topography is basically undulating in Grenada. So you want to prepare soil in a way to protect them from excess rain, so that when the rain falls, the terracing is like step-like. They wouldn't just come down with a gush. So in so doing, you protect yourself.
Join us this Wednesday on GBN TV, K105 FM, and GBN's Facebook page and YouTube channel at 8:30 p.m. on Our Climate Reality, as Mr. Terrance Smith, Dr. Everson Peters, and Dr. Adrian Cashman discuss water and climate change. Our Climate Reality, made possible by Republic Bank, Hubbard's, and Classic Lighting.
Viewers and listeners, welcome to the conversation this morning. And as I hinted to you earlier, I've got with me in the studio the Disaster Management Coordinator at NADMA, Dr. Terrance Walters. I almost said Mary Show, Dr. Terrance Walters, and good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to you, Innocent, and good morning to all the listeners and viewers everywhere, wherever you are.
Yeah, good morning. And it's always a pleasure to have you in studio with me. Such a resourceful guy. I learn so much whenever you're in here.
All right.
But this morning we're not on an educational drive per se in disaster mitigation and so forth. We're here to talk about NADMA's district elections coming up.
That's right.
Yeah, and what's the need for district elections? We had election yesterday already.
All right, so that's a different election.
That's a different election.
And we had elections last year.
Yeah,
that's a different, Yeah. But the NADMA, we depend heavily on our volunteers across the country. So we have volunteers throughout in different areas, and they provide a lot of service to the agency, and we're very thankful that we have these volunteers, because it would not be practical to
to provide payment, all right, for for all the people that we need to do do service for the agency in disaster management across the country. That would not be practical. So we depend heavily on our volunteers, and our volunteers have been doing a wonderful job over the years. Okay, over the years we have had people provide service in so many different areas, and we must say thanks to them. All right. So this is at this time we're having district elections. So we're going to be electing our volunteers because we have 17 districts.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Quite
17
a number.
districts.
And what are the positions up for grabs?
Right. So before I go to the positions, some people may hear 17 districts and wonder how come we have 17. So the districts are broken up based on the electoral boundaries.
Oh, okay.
But we have 15, right?
Yes.
But we have 17 districts. So what happened is that Carriacou is one, Pitimatnik is one, and then St. David is broken up into north and south.
That is what I think they should do with the general elections as well. St. David is too big a constituency for any one minister, but nonetheless, we ain't talking politics this morning.
Right.
Do that for them.
Good. So so disaster management. So probably we're ahead a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're ahead a little bit. Okay. So yes. So we have 17 districts, and we're going to be electing a coordinator. So we want to have a district coordinator, a deputy coordinator, and then we have chairpersons for the various subcommittees. So the subcommittees are damage and needs assessment, emergency works and transport, health and welfare, public education and information, safety and security, shelter management, supplies management, and telecommunication or emergency communications.
Okay. Could you just repeat that again for my listeners?
Yes. Let me repeat it, right? So again, the positions that we have are district coordinator, deputy district coordinator. All right? And then you have the chair and the deputy for damage and needs assessment, emergency works and transport, health and welfare, public education and information, safety and security, shelter management, supplies management, and telecommunications or emergency communications. Right? Those are the subcommittees, and for each subcommittee, we want a chair and a deputy.
Okay. And over the years, how effective would you say these district committees have been functioning?
Right, and we have had very good service from our district committees. Yes, I mean there's always room for improvement because there's a lot more that we can do with the committees. But I would say that they have provided excellent service. We have some coordinators who have provided 6, 8, even 10 years service, all right, because they have been doing a good job. And so, because when something happens, remember, the disaster management office is staffed by 13, 14 people. And when there's an event across the island, right, these 13 or 14 people can't be everywhere because you have to man the office, you have to prepare your reports, you have to, there are a number of things you have to do at the office.
Yes. You're actually spearheading.
You're coordinating at the office. And so you depend now on your volunteers at the district level to provide information, to feed you with what is happening at the district level and tell you, well, okay, well, we need this or we need that, or this is happening, that is happening at the district level. And so they have been quite effective over the years. And so, we want to continue that process. We want to continue to build on what we have.
And another key element involved is the fact that based on the nature of the disaster, NADMA is housed in St. George.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of seismic activity in recent times. An earthquake occurs and the damage up St. John, God forbid, and accessibility becomes a problem.
There we go.
So then the district committee is, that's where you actually see the importance of it.
Right, because the district committees, the district teams, or volunteers in the various across the island, they are our ears and eyes on the ground.
Good.
Right, ears and eyes. So if there's heavy rainfall, right? So the coordinator for St. John's and Mark, whichever district, they would be able to call in and say, well, okay, this is happening, or there's a tree falling here, or there's a pole falling there, or that kind of thing. So we depend again heavily on our volunteers, and it is a very important area of our work at the National Disaster Management Agency, our district, and our volunteers across the country. So we want to strengthen that. So that's why we're having elections, and we are putting this out, because there may be people who want to volunteer and maybe they don't know how to, or they've never asked, but they have they have the ability to do some work with NADMA. So this is an opportunity for you now to come forward, come to the district elections, and probably get elected to one of these areas. And you may have been trained by NADMA, because we've done a lot of training over the years, quite a lot of training over the years. And you may have been trained, so this is an opportunity for you now to get involved in the district committees at the district level, to make your contribution. So that's why we're having the elections, although we do have elections every 2 to 3 years, right? But now we want to strengthen the district teams. We want to ensure that that we have the right people in the right places, and bring as many people on board as possible.
Right, and you raise a very critical point there in terms of the training component of NADMA. How frequent is, because we tend to think that in Grenada all we have to prepare for is hurricanes, and that to me is becoming more and more evident that it's not the case, because we've been having, as I said earlier, we've been having quite a lot of seismic activity in the region. Just last week, I didn't feel it, but it was reported in the news that there was a 3-point-something magnitude earthquake.
Right, 4.1, I believe.
4 point, right, yeah. So in terms of preparedness, training, the requisite training for the whole umbrella of disasters that can come our way, how trained, how prepared are our district teams?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, we have provided training in a number of areas, a number of people across the country, all right? And our district teams, we have provided training for them, shelter management, emergency communication, initial damage assessment. So we've provided quite a lot of training, and that's why I'm saying now it's an opportunity for people who have been trained to become part of the district teams.
Right.
And even after the elections, even if you have not been elected, so let's say you did not get elected to one of the subcommittees, it is an opportunity for you to come forward and say, okay, even though I have not been elected as chair or deputy, I want to serve on this committee. Because remember, shelter management, we would elect a chair and a deputy for the district, but then you have maybe 6 or 7 or 8 shelters in that district, and each shelter we must have a team to man the shelter.
Right.
Again, and if you in a shelter, you can't have one team, because that team will then have to work 24 hours.
Yeah, so you must have a shift
you must have a shift basis,
yeah.
right? So you need a lot of people for each shelter. So we do need quite a lot of volunteers apart from the district teams. So even if you think, well, I don't want to be on the district team because you don't like to go to meetings and you don't like that kind of thing, but you want to be a part of shelter management or a part of the damage assessment because you've been trained in damage assessment, or emergency communications. You've been trained in that area and you want to be part of that team in your district. Sure, come forward, volunteer. Let us know, where you want to serve, because we need to have like a registry of our volunteers so we know who we can call on. Because when there's a disaster, right, there are quite a number of areas that we will need people to serve. Right, so we need volunteers to come forward and say, I can do this, I'm willing to serve here, I'm willing to serve there. But for now, we're going to do the elections and have the management committees. That's what we're trying to put in place.
And when are these elections taking place?
So we're starting this coming Wednesday. So it's going to be from Wednesday, and if I can just briefly go through the schedule, right?
That's the intent.
Yes.
That's the intent.
So Wednesday Wednesday the 8th of March, we have that St. George's South, and that's going to be at the Springs Government School, or South St. George Government School, and we're going to do St. John. So we're doing two elections every day.
Okay, from Wednesday.
From Wednesday coming, right? So it's going to be a very busy time for the agency for the next 2 weeks, next couple of weeks. So Wednesday coming, the 8th of March, we have St. George's South, and it's going to be at that's the South St. George Government School, and St. John is going to be at the St. John Anglican School. On Thursday, we do St. George Northwest at the Happy Hill Secondary School and St. Mark at the Bonaire Government School. So that's Wednesday and Thursday of this week, right? The 8th and the 9th. Then next week, we start on Monday, the March 13th. We have St. George Southeast at the Marian Multipurpose Center and St. Patrick East at the Hermitage Government School. That's Monday. On Tuesday, St. George Northeast at the Bolio RC School. I think the correct name is Our Lady Help of Christian Catholic School. But that's Bolio, right?
Yes.
That's Bolio. If you say Bolio.
Just tell me Bolio.
Yes, everybody know Bolio, okay? And then we have St. Patrick West at the St. Patrick Anglican School. On Wednesday, 15th, Tongue of St. George at the St. George's Anglican Senior School. And then we have this St. Andrew Northwest at the Lafayette RC School.
Okay.
Lafayette RC School. Thursday, the 16th, we have St. David South at Wester Hall Secondary and St. Andrew Northeast at the Tivoli RC School. Monday, the 20th of March, St. David North at the Palmrose RC School, and we have St. Andrew Southeast at the St. Andrew Methodist School. The last one on mainland would be on Tuesday, March 21st. That's St. Andrew Southwest, and it's at the St. Andrew Methodist School. Okay? And then we go to Carriacou and Petit Martinique on April 4th. So Petit Martinique is going to be first at 1 o'clock in the day,
okay,
and then Carriacou at 5 p.m.
Okay.
So that's the schedule for elections. Again, it's 2 every day. All right, in 2 districts, and so we can get it done as quickly as possible, get the new teams in place, and proceed to provide, orientation and training and all of that for them.
I'd subsequently like for you to furnish me with a copy of this so that I can, highlight it so that people in the various communities can be abreast and be a part of it, volunteer for it.
That's right, because we have sent this out. We've done news items and so forth. We've been on various programs. We've circulated the schedule by WhatsApp and different social media platforms. So again, we are really making this appeal to people to come out to become part of the district committees, because we definitely need your service as volunteers in disaster management.
Okay. All right. So, folks, you heard it. The district elections for NADMA district committees, it starts on Wednesday and it goes on till the 3rd of April?
The 4th of April.
The 4th of April. So, whichever part of the woods you are, your neck of the woods, once you think that you have the aptitude, the skill set, the mindset, or the willingness. Remember, it's volunteerism, and it's a very important gesture. You'll be saving lives.
That's right.
Yeah, and so forth. Let's just deviate a little from the elections. The hurricane season is not so far away. Any predictions as to what sort of season we're going to have yet?
No, I have not. I have not seen the predictions as yet. All right, so that has not come out as yet.
Okay.
I guess it should be out shortly.
Yeah.
Within a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
We should have predictions as to what's going to happen this year.
Right. Another quick question: hurricanes. Yes, but it seems as though nowadays the talk of disaster is earthquakes. We had some devastating ones taking place in Turkey and Syria. We had reports of it in Trinidad not so long ago, but it hit home last week. In your professional capacity, you're well studied and well trained in this. How prepared is Grenada for an earthquake? Looking at our housing stock and the integrity of our housing stock and so forth. Let's say, God forbid, that a serious earthquake strikes. How are we positioned? How prepared are us as a people to deal with this?
Well, I believe
this is not to scare anybody.
No.
Just getting people, because hey, folks, it's a reality. The bedding planes are moving, all right, and things are happening. So this is for educational purposes. You might just learn something that might just save your life.
And I believe that we have a lot of information on earthquakes. We've done the drop, cover, hold. We've done that campaign. So people know, they understand earthquakes. Now, what we cannot say is, okay, if an earthquake strikes, depending on where, how deep it is or how shallow, right? If it's close to the surface, if it's really really far below the surface, the epicenter and all of that. Those are factors that we need to take into consideration. Because if you have a 7.1 earthquake and strikes and it's maybe 100 kilometers deep, okay, it can create a lot less damage than if you have one that's 10 kilometers deep or 5 kilometers deep and all of that. So we have to take those factors into consideration. In terms of our housing stock and how strong we've built and all that, I know we have been doing some work in terms of building to standard for hurricanes, for earthquakes. So in the past maybe 20 years or so, we've done a lot of work in that area. And so I'm hoping that if we do have a strong earthquake, that it would not impact on us too significantly. But again, as we go forward, we have to encourage people who are building to ensure that they build properly, build with earthquakes and hurricanes and so in mind, and hope that in the event that we're struck, that we would not fare too badly. But as a people, I would say that we have information about earthquakes and how we should respond.
And I also think that in itself should be a new thrust by NADMA and relating agencies, because it's not something that we're hearing about in far-off lands anymore. So, and then again with the presence of our underwater volcanoes, tsunamis are also correlated with earthquakes. So, all these things have to be taken into consideration. I would like to see, the planning, the housing and planning unit be more effective in the location of houses. We still have a number of people building, you break it down and they're building back on the shores. I mean, I wouldn't call name because when I drive by, I don't want them stole my vehicles, but I'm seeing some houses and places that really in this day and age should not be erected there.
You have concerns about them.
Very much,
yes,
and it's not out of malice or so forth, but reading and looking at the news and you're seeing what's happening on shorelines. I think people have to pay more attention to that, because it's not something that we're reading about in foreign news anymore. It's hitting home.
And if I may add, some of these hazards. So we know hurricanes, we have them every year. So we're prepared, we're dealing with that. But like earthquakes and tsunamis and so that don't occur frequently, we have to keep it in the forefront of our minds, because when these hazards occur, they can be very, very devastating. And look at Turkey and Syria. Okay, you don't have an earthquake every day or every year. You don't have an earthquake season, right? But again, when it occurs, it can be very, very devastating. So we want people to understand that.
And the tricky thing about this, with the hurricane, we can forecast it.
That's right.
But with an earthquake, No.
And we do have a very good early warning system for hurricanes, storms, tropical cyclones. Very good early warning system. But the early warning system for earthquakes, all right, that again, we don't have an early warning system. Tsunamis, yes, we do. But remember, tsunamis don't give you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't give you a lot of time.
They just flow up.
Right, and coming out of COP 27, the last one, I remember early warning for all people across the world. And there's the launch and there's a push for that to ensure that all people across the world have access to early warning systems.
Right.
Okay.
I know through the Seismic Center, they have this, I should use have or had. I don't know which word to use. But they had this this early warning system up at McDonald College, and it's still functional?
Yeah, that's for Kikem-Jenny. Okay, so we do have monitoring stations across the island. On Carriacou, there's one on Sisters. Okay, the team from UWI came up late last year, went over to Sisters. We have the one right at close to McDonald College there, and then there are a couple others. There's one on Mount Kublal.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's a good monitoring network for Kikem-Jenny. All right, so anything happens at Kikem-Jenny, we will definitely get the information and be able to warn. So that's a good early warning system.
All right.
For Kikem-Jenny.
In lies, we're wrapping up, but I like to know Grenada's positions in liaising with your counterparts around the region and making comparisons. Disaster management in Grenada. Are you satisfied with its operational activities, its funding, its?
Well, I just returned from a conference in Uruguay yesterday, and met with a number of our counterparts across the region, and we share some of the similar challenges in terms of our offices being small, and we need more staff, we need more technical people, we need more resources, things like that. But I think across the region, because remember we work closely with NADMA as the regional body for disaster management. So I think that across the region, the disaster management offices we're working together to ensure that we grow together, we improve together. Right, different ones maybe at different, areas, different grow at different pace,
different strengths,
different weaknesses, and all of that. All right, but I think as compared to the others across the region, I think Grenada is doing very well.
Well, I think we have. I feel comfortable and confident because we have we have a stalwart at the helm of it, and finally. Sylvan McIntyre is an expert in this disaster management, and he has just been appointed to, I can't recall the
UNESCO. Well, sorry, not UNESCO. USAID.
Right.
So
okay.
he's with USAID.
Will he be lending his services to NADMA, coordinating with NADMA and so forth?
Well, USAID has done that over the years. We had Miss Audrey Mullins, right, who Sylvan is replacing now. She's provided excellent service to Grenada. She's Jamaican and would always come to Grenada to do training and provide whatever assistance if there's a disaster. She would be here and all of that. So she did that. So Sylvan is now replacing her. So he would be providing the services from USAID. It used to be USAID OFDA, Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance. Now it's USAID BHA, Bureau for Humanitarian Assistance. Okay. All right, so that's who he's working with, and they normally provide quite a lot of support to Grenada in terms of programming and and providing whatever supplies that we need.
Okay. All right, in wrapping up, I'll give you the opportunity to sensitize the general public once again as to the district elections coming up from Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. All right, so thank you. And to the general population, we have our district elections coming up beginning Wednesday. the intention here, the aim here, is to strengthen our district teams, to bring in as many volunteers as possible to strengthen the district teams. And we urge you to come forward, even if you do not want to be elected for a particular position. You should attend the elections to provide support. Provide moral support, whatever support you can. And even if you are not elected, right, let's say you're nominated but not elected, right, you can still become a volunteer, be part of the teams, because the teams, we're electing 2 persons per district for the subcommittees, and these subcommittees need other people. You need other people on the subcommittees so you can provide support. And try to ensure you're on time for the elections. They start at 6 o'clock. Most of them, I think there are a couple at 5, but the schedule is out. And we start at 6 o'clock. We want to get there, get through the process and ensure that we have a new team. Come out, make your contribution. Again, we are electing a coordinator, deputy coordinator for each district, and then you have the chair and deputy for the subcommittees, which are damage and needs assessment, emergency works and transport, health and welfare, public education and information, safety and security, shelter management, supplies management, and emergency communication. Those are the subcommittees we want a chair and deputy for, along with a coordinator and a deputy coordinator for each district.
So folks, remember that the election starts this Wednesday and concludes on the 4th of April on Pidimatnik and Kiariaku. Go on out and be a part of it. The support that you lend to this cause might just be the cause that saves some people's lives.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Folks, I've been talking there with Dr. Terrance Walters. He is the the disaster coordinator at NADMA, and we got to take that break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Good day, Mr. James. I'm just here looking at Grenlec's new mobile app.
Sounds great. Can I use it to check my bill balance?
Absolutely. Let me show you. Enter your account number and Grenlec access number, and that's it. You can now check your balance, track your usage, receive outage alerts, and get updates from Grenlec in real time. You can even use the app to report a power outage or a fault with a pole or street light. Add as many accounts as you want. Track your business account, apartment rentals, and Granny's account, all in one convenient place.
Thanks, Susan. I'll be telling everyone I know about Grenlec's new app.
The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Shop at Southern Electrical for all your security camera needs. We offer a wide variety of cameras such as solar cameras with or without lights, 4G cameras, Wi-Fi and PoE kits, 4, 8, and 16 channel, replacement cameras for PoE, standalone Wi-Fi cameras, floodlights with cameras, watch cameras, pen cameras, and much more. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grandin, St. George. Let us help you with your security needs. Southern Electrical, best value, expert advice, quality products.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
All right, good morning and welcome back to the conversation this morning. It's 11 minutes on to 8 o'clock. And quickly, let's see what's happening on our Facebook page. All right. Sylvina Charles, good morning, Innocent. It's a good thing to give God thanks for his goodness. Yes. Catherine Phillips says, good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Innocent. Have a wonderful week. Same to you. Janice Let Joseph, good morning to my beautiful Island of Spice. Good morning to you, Janice. Lydia Edwards, good morning, Grenada. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks, and same to you. Zephyrin McLeod in Long Island, good morning. Marilyn Gordon says, good morning, Gordon and viewers. Yvonne Waldron says, good morning. Ann Jackson, the condition in Grenada is not for poor because they are a problem for the government. Okay. Dora Joseph says, good morning, everyone. Ann Jackson, before you speak, check the condition you are bringing our beautiful country to. You are one of them taking from... Okay. All right. Good morning, Mr. Gordon, Innocent, to all the platform lovers. Hope is well. Hope all is well. Stay lovable. I'm lovable. All right. Petit LaBelle Grenada National Resort, gainfully employed. Please raise the wage. Okay. Why is it called the National Resort when it is not owned by the people? Alison Cox Osplund said, I was thinking the same thing. All right. Okay, Yulin Alexander, good morning, Yulin. Hope all is well. You too, Lydia Cameron. Good morning, people of my beloved island. All right, let's see. Yulin Alexander says, thanks, Dr. Terrance. You're doing a wonderful job. Congratulations. Let's chit-chat. NDC's convention yesterday. What are your thoughts? Are you happy with the results of the election? Give me a call, 435-2041. And I know some of you will come and give me this talk about when is the other convention. I have no clue. All right? 435-2041. What are your thoughts on NDC's just concluded convention, the election of officers and so forth? Give me a call, 435-2041. And for my friend in Latin, she says you must repeat the thought of the day. Well, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. That's the thought for the day. And we have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Joseph, good morning. I'm not calling for what you're talking about. I'm calling about something that concerns me right now.
What is it?
A neighbor handbugging with a car parked up in my entrance, and no one could walk in or walk out, and they would not remove it, and they not listen to what we say.
Did you call the police?
Well, my nephew just talked to the police. I don't know what they will do about it, but the man is fencing us out. They fence us out. We have no way to walk to come to our entrance and our home. We down inside. They live by the roadside. They are not renting there. They live on the other side. They occupy is fenced around both sides. They have to get parked to park their own vehicle, but they parked it in our driveway right over the pipe that the water has to run to come to our entrance.
Okay.
And we're talking about it, and the man sizing up my neighbor this morning. He had to call us and say, no, you cannot park your vehicle. You cannot walk to come in. He bunks in on both sides. The little squeezy corner. They take the little passage where we have to come to our home. I mean, this is not nice. Neighbors for neighbors, they must not treat neighbors like that.
Okay.
The woman lives, she go up and she renting down here, and she live and she didn't even ask questions. She didn't say, can I park my car in my friend or can I park it? No, they didn't. They park it up. Or they swell up and they foam up and they're ready to fight you down for your own property.
Okay, well,
not right.
Try and resolve it, and if you're not happy with the response, then you need to get the police involved, right?
All right.
Okay, have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye. 7 minutes away from 8 o'clock. That is the time. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent. I heard you say you're looking at the convention, but on behalf of the Ministry of Fisheries, Ministry of Agricultural Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives, we just want to remind fisherfolk that there will be 2 zonal meetings this week. There is one in Grenville at the St. Andrew's Methodist School from 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, and one in Guave at the St. John's Anglican Primary School, 4:30 p.m. on Thursday. Don't want to take up much of your time. Thank you very much.
Hold on. Don't run off yet. I need some more information. What is the purpose of those meetings?
The Ministry of Fisheries will be engaging fisherfolk so as to hear their concerns and suggestions, and for the ministry to discuss the plans for the way forward. Boosting the fishing industry. That's the focus of the meeting. So we just want to tell fisherfolk that the one in St. Andrew's Methodist School would target the fisherfolk in St. David, St. Patrick, and St. Andrew, and the one in Guave would target fisherfolks in St. John and St. Mark. And the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Fisheries, and Cooperatives will be engaging fisherfolk in that forum.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for them to come out and speak about their concerns, look at the challenges, the threats, and how we take the fishing industry forward.
All right. Well, I can tell you that those meetings will be well attended because everybody's interested in that these days.
Right. So thank you very much for a little minute on your forum.
Mikasa es su casa, mama.
Have a good day.
Have a good one yourself. Folks, 435-2041. It's 5 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That is the time. Reminding you that at 8, we join the BBC for that Bulletin of News. Yeah, it's amazing how the time flies, man. Once again, I want to say good morning to the staff at the male medical ward at the General Hospital. Good morning to you. Yeah. All right, so folks, there are a number of activities coming up. We've got the NADMA district elections starting on Wednesday, and you just heard it that there are 2 meetings coming up for the fisher folks. Be a part of them. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Okay, we lost that caller. 435-2041. Let me see what's happening on our WhatsApp platform. Is anybody there? All right. Okay. Right. Just said. Crucial, my friend. Okay. Good morning to you. Likewise. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Hi, welcome to the program.
Yeah. I wasn't too sure of your topic this morning, but I wanted to speak on something. What your topic is?
I just wanted to throw out and to, hear how people feel about the just concluded NDC convention, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I can't speak on the NDC convention. I wasn't present, and I don't know what the total result is.
Okay.
I wish them all the best in the convention, who would we get in the positions. But in terms of the matter with the Labor Commissioner, I would have liked to speak a little bit on that.
Okay, go right ahead, please. But make it brief, right?
Huh?
Make it brief.
Yeah, I listened to the Minister of Labor speak, and I was not impressed with her at all, and I don't think she was truthful in the giving of the information. She said that the lady was appointed for 2 years, but she only make a few months, and because on the advice of the ministry, the Public Service Commission, she was dismissed. The grounds that she said she was dismissed on, and I'm not satisfied with that. Seeing that she was dismissed because she was not friendly to the staff, not staff friendly. I think that's not fair.
Okay.
And I hope that the commissioner, the Labor Commissioner, will clear the air and to give us an idea as to what really happened. But I'm not satisfied with the grounds that is given by the Labor Minister in terms of the fine.
Okay.
So I will hope that we get the other side of it.
Well, there are always, my grandmother always says, there are three sides to a story: the truth, the false, and the one in the middle. So,
well, if we get three of them, it will be good.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think that she did a good job at all. I don't think she was fluent in speaking in the first case, and I don't think it was. And if she was employed for 2 years, and you didn't, she said that the only money you had to pay is 1 month. If you was employed for 2 years, you will have to tell us why it's only 1 month you have to pay for.
Okay. Well, what I can tell you
something is hidden.
Yeah, what I can tell you is that we haven't seen or heard the end of this story as yet, right?
That's what me too, and I'm thinking that they should come more clean.
All right.
Good.
Okay, have a good one. 1 minute away from 8 o'clock, folks. This is where we're gonna wrap it up now, because I do not want to get myself in problems with the BBC News. And a few callers claim that this thing where I say, okay, we're joining the BBC already in progress, they miss. And I do agree, because I am a news freak and I take my news seriously. So we're gonna end the program there for this morning. Marilyn Gordon says, I didn't see the beginning of the convention, but the ending was great. The nomination was well done. Okay. All right. Let me see what's on the WhatsApp platform before we leave. Okay. All right, folks, those of you who called and participated, thank you very much for your participation. And should the good Lord spare your lives, we'll have another conversation tomorrow, same time, same frequencies, channels, and all our platforms. This is where we wrap it up for the conversation this morning. Thank you. Have a good one. Have a productive day now. Bye.